The third spirit gives Scrooge a glimpse of Tiny Tim on his way out of this life. Timmy doesn't look critical just yet, does he? Ah, like us all, he was born to die. Let's hurry him along. Make it rotten. Too tidy.
Welcome everyone back to Mcgee's Grimm. This is the tale of the Christmas Carol. I'm your mad host as always, and well, we now get a glimpse of the ghosts of Christmas yet to come. A Grimm time, really, if ever there was. And a time of terrible platforming and of not so good platforming on my behalf, regrettably. Make it. Gotta make this jump as well, and get over here quickly. So yes, the Ghost of Christmas yet to come.
You dithering blockhead!
There's gonna be something interesting. Platforming with ice physics on a moving platform. Oh, please. Not good. But yes. He shows him a Christmas yet to come. And strangely shows him something that Scrooge was not ready to see. He shows him first of Tiny Tim, the son of his old clerk, Bob Cratchit. Dead. Family suffering because of it. Why? Well, they couldn't serve off better. And as the ghost puts it, why should they bother? I mean, after all, in Scrooge's mind, they could have easily, as they said before, they could have made do. That's one less mouth to feed.
Don't delay, but stomp away!
In those respects. But who knows? This is usually a turning point in every story of the Christmas Carol. The ghosts of Christmas future, usually portrayed in the guise of death, or the grim of some cult creature. Personification of death, usually showing minor, quite horrifying things, honestly. Visions that, well, as Ebenezer can show, quite profoundly disturb him. I mean, rightfully so. I mean, you would if you were shown things that didn't quite rest well with you. In fact, I would dare say it probably would make any man's heart grow cold. I mean, probably with fear, probably of sorrow. Either one works. Then at the end, however,
don't delay,
this isn't the end of this tale. There's so much more to be shown.
Scrooge's house. But hold on, where are the requisite tools of the trade? These bungling street rats need a refresher in Burglary 101. Let's help them liberate Scrooge's goodies. Make it disgusting. Grimm's nasty. Now.
And we shall do just that for, well, Scrooge is dead after all, technically. Scrooge is being shown is shown that he is dead now. No one really cares. Why should they? I mean, for all you know, although depending on what you see, it's not driven into his skull just yet.
Romp and stomp!
Please let us keep up.
I mean, for the most part, it's kind of played off pretty well. You just kind of hinted before the spirit just kind of flat out just tells us that he's dead, without really saying a word half the time. There's always inference on Scrooge's part to have. But yes, who is Scrooge to care? All he sees really now at this point is some kids ransacking his house, stealing his possessions, selling things. What gets the most peculiar of notices when he hears things of robbed off this person. This was his blanket. This was once his prized blanket. I stole it while the body was still warm. And so on and so on. Because really, why should any of them cared? I mean, it's not like Scrooge was going to be at any time. That was not my plan. Not intended to be that way. But even so, well, what is with me and like these run to the edges and just me not being able to jump whenever I'm tapping the space when I attempt to tap the space bar? Maybe it's just poor timing or just something in the mind, but oh well. Let's help these kids out get into Scrooge's house.
Rompin's kicking good. Rompin' stompin', butt kicking good.
But we still have yet even more of Scrooge's, well, prized belongings to show of his money. One of the few things the world cared most about. Again, not that you didn't need them. Although I will say, he does look pretty pissed. Probably rightfully so, really. I mean, he's just being shown that his house is being ransacked. I mean, he doesn't know the grim news as we do. Also, I love how the Ghost of Christmas Future is just kind of roaming around just because. With that, let us continue, for we still have much more to show.
Butt stomp it!
Indeed, but that's neither here nor there.
Rompin' stompin', butt kicking good. What a service! Let us mourn the, thrifty gentleman, Ebenezer Scrooge. Friend to, a few, benevolent to, fewer. Not completely dislike, no, that's not right. Let's show him what they really thought of him. Make it repulsive.
Man, you have to admit, you're being showed that you're dead.
Don't delay, but stomp away!
Excuse me, Grimm. I mean, you would think being told you're dead, yeah, that's quite a shock to being shown exactly how you died, since it's implied that this was literally tomorrow, like the day after. It's never really mentioned when he was killed. But even so, it's always been replied of one thing. Scrooge was not liked for the way he was. No one had any reason to care for him. If anything, a little more happy that he was dead. Because really, his miserly ways kind of made everyone suffer.
Stop it!
He didn't give charities, he didn't
Stop it!
care about anything but money. To others, well, he saw the poor as a problem, as well. They were only just lazy and would say they'd be better off to the poorhouse and they'll maybe die. In which he would only reply, "Good. It would decrease the population at least." So with that, let us see how he deals with the revelations of his life.
Don't delay, but stomp away!
Also, can I admit that I actually like how the Ghost of Christmas Future is just Death from Godfather Death just made Cockney? It's quite beautiful, really, but there is still more to show, so let us move on without further ado. Yes.
Scrooge wakes up with an overpowering desire to buy presents for everyone. He's a changed man. The turkey spend merely hints at his newfound commitment to consumerism. He needs to indulge in a veritable shopping spree. Make it nasty. Grimm does dirt.
So yes, with the new knowledge of what his fate could have been, and at that moment was, Scrooge kind of has a change of heart on the night of Christmas Eve, or the Christmas Day. Basically realizing he hasn't missed a single day at all. He was feeling pretty happy for that reason. Deciding he was going to be a changed man for the good. Do all sorts of, well, good things.
Stomping, butt kicking good.
Which, really, what he thought was good was more conforming to the consumerist needs of the holiday. In essence, becoming a poor sheep. Quite tragic, really, when you think about it. More so that there's an invisible wall, which I'll have to fix now.
Whoa, was that a street riot or precursor to a run on the bank? Whatever, it's a righteous instance of the law of unintended consequences. An act of generosity turned nasty by selfishness. So predictable. I love it. Make it disgusting.
Which, ironically, what you just witnessed there is quite honestly the most honest prediction to another quote-unquote consumer holiday known as Black Friday. Yeah. Also, there is people back there still trying to clean up my shops. I don't agree with that. Please kindly leave me alone, dogs. I'm cleaning my shops, and I don't really approve of you beasts doing that. So stop, if you will.
Stop it!
So let's make the children here miserable again. It's Victorian London, not just paradise, not Candyland, nothing sweet like that. No one ever deserves. No one was happy during these times. Hardly anyone, really. It was probably a rarity if you were happy. If you, then you were probably better off. You weren't just selling your kids off as slave labor. You weren't just in the poor. You weren't poor and being fear of being in the poorhouse. You weren't just some prostitute waiting to get your throat slit away by Jack the Ripper. Although those may have been just separate timepieces. Either way, Victorian London was a hellhole. It was not pleasant.
Despite the potential for personal injury and aggravation, there are people who will join a queue without knowing why their fellow time servers are standing in line. Ignorance meets unfounded hope and greed. Perfect. Make it repulsive. Romp and stomp.
So in the end, people will do what they can, without really knowing why, to do everything as a means to an end. Is it good? No. It's actually sad, really.
Good.
But that, in the end, is sadly human nature. We're greedy. We consume. We are slaves to our own desires, our sins. And, well, this is the price we pay for it.
Let's make it huge! This turkey isn't nearly big enough to satisfy Scrooge's newfound generosity, but a holiday meal must include a beautiful bird. Make it putrid.
And would you believe me if I were to tell you, somehow we're still not done. There is still more to show, even with a giant killer turkey on the loose. It's actually it's mystifying, actually.
Stop it!
kind of happy for it because over there is the lovely little house of Tiny Tim. You know, little crippled consumption child. The one that we all kind of look up to because, well, probably the one reason we all feel hope usually during these times. It kind of reminds us that Christmas sometimes isn't just this consumerist ritual. It can actually be something more than that.
Stop it!
It can be pleasant for once. It doesn't have to be a violent thing.
Secret
So
found!
you're probably wondering, how does Tiny
Stop
Tim
it.
fit in with a giant, huge killer turkey? This is how, really.
Who knew Tiny Tim could do that? Hiding his light under a barrel, crutch and all. Gets him out of the housework, I suppose. Nothing better than a titanic intraspecies death match. The loser provides a decent meal. Turns out Tim's a hero. Christmas was the occasion, and Scrooge the means of initiating his success. Now it's time to get even with another bogus holiday icon and ambulatory bowl of jelly. Santa!
So, yeah. The finale's next. You're not expecting this twist. So we'll just move on ahead now.
I'll teach him to cross me with some good old-fashioned Yuletide payback. Giving really is the best part of Christmas after all. Make it disgusting. Let's Grimm it!
Oh, this is going to be beautiful. Here we are in the North Pole. Santa's little workshop.
Aye! Nasty.
Oh, yes.
Don't be
This
good.
place. Oh, we're gonna have fun with this little
Don't
place.
Right, stop away! Don't delay, but
Oh,
stop
Slave
away!
Raver and the works.
One down, two to go. Make it rehearsed.
And if your thought of what we were doing was shutting down Santa's entire, like, operations down here, well, congratulations, you're just psychic, I guess. You're psychic, but yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. And it's going to be, hard in that. Sorry about that. That was my
Romping, stomping, butt kicking good.
computer trying to let me know that it's dumb. I'm gonna probably have to blur that out, maybe, as best as I can. But in the meantime, well, we have elves trying to shoot us. And thankfully, the most obvious ways of letting us know that they're trying to hit us, by virtue of, well, yeah, the patches of snow in which they're trying to shoot us with. It's
Romping,
kind of humorous and
stomping,
fair.
butt kicking good.
Yes, we have still more to corrupt. I mean, this place isn't going to shut down itself without our help. I mean, look at the elves! They look miserable! We should help them! Liberate them, so to say.
Chomp and
They don't want to be a part of this, and, well, I mean, this guy looks zombified even.
Reminds me of my so-called childhood. Dysfunctional. One more round! Make it putrid.
And yes, basically it is going to get a little more complicated,
No!
and the snowballs will actually kill you, fun fact. Thought you'd like to.
Blithering in.
Right then. Oh, this. There is some weird catharsis about doing this. Of saying you are destroying Santa's like workshop. You were dismantling and turning the North Pole into the darkest place on Earth. I don't know know. There's a huge bit of there's a weird sense of catharsis with this, and I kind of enjoy it.
And now for the grand finale. Ha! There's that jovial tub of congealing lard. Make it rancid.
Now all that's left is, well, Santa Claus himself.
You suck!
And quite a somewhat challenging one to do, a somewhat challenging thing to deal with. They actually do make that kind of difficult to deal with, to be fair. And yes, it's no longer just a workshop, but a sweatshop. And, well, a couple of reindeer to deal with. A secret too, because why not? Trying to keep away from the reindeer, just so we can convert the rest of the world. The rest of this kind of winter wonderland. Kind of show it exactly what it is. Show exactly what it has become. Basically a pale mockery of itself. Tragic, really. I hear so many people like Christmas. Oh well.
Now that's a sleigh ride. Know what happens when a reindeer tastes human blood? Me either. Let's find out.
So yes, basically our next job is to just flat out bomb London. For all it's worth. Because yes. And we have 132 buildings to corrode in darkness. Oh yes, it is beautiful, the amount of destruction that entails. Turning, literally, you're pretty much converting all of London into like the most miserable place on earth, as it sort of is, really. At least it was back then. Nowadays I'm not too sure, it might have actually improved, who's to say. But yeah, there's sort of no real control where you can go. I think it sort of just leads you onwards to a point where you're done. Like so.
Finally, the Christmas presents we all deserve. Merry Christmas, everyone! Ho, ho, ho!
And I'll be honest, I have no idea how you're supposed to get a gold rank on Darkness. I've tried. I have honestly tried every single time, and silver is usually the result I get. I imagine it has to do with something with the bombing, but still I don't know. So, yeah, this was A Christmas Carol, and now I guess I'll leave you all with Grimm. So, hope you all have enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next tale. Season 3, actually, of all things. So, take care, everyone. Bye!
Our Dickensian frolic is now properly tuned. Modern practice has hijacked the true holiday spirit from the Christmas Carol. We'll sing quite a different song. The grumpy cheapskate motivated by discomforting visions is a relic. Our Scrooge needs more than advice to make his conversion.
Repent from your worthless hollow life, Scrooge, or be condemned to die and haunt the earth, a despised and tortured ghost.
How's that worse than what I'm doing now? Humbug.
You jaded, friendless miser! Were you a better man than me?
Hardly, but sharper, Jacob. Certainly sharper.
Do you imagine your eternal punishment will be better than mine? Your burden less heavy, your suffering less painful. You've earned a gruesome end, Ebenezer. Your hard fate is recorded.
If you're any use at all, show me how to erase it. A miserable, solitary childhood, arid and unpleasant spirit. So, how is this helpful? How was I to blame?
True, you played the hand as dealt, but this is early context for choices that you made.
Why this spirit? Why must I relive a tragedy? Money had to be made. The child's death was not my doing. We were all starving. There wasn't enough for food.
Oh, and nothing for the child's proper burial?
The child was dead. He didn't mind. There were other demands on my resource. Money was required. My wife left me, too. Oh, spirit, I avoided her miserable fate.
Yes, Scrooge, you avoided family and friends, and you have money, but nothing else. A noble legacy.
Commerce conquers all. Grasping, acquisitive, mindless consumption. This is what Christmas has become. And the wreck it has wrought. Despite the hypocrisy of former days, there was potential when a juicy orange was the best possible present. Who is that overfed personage in the peculiar red suit?
The new personification of Christmas. He is like a god. Pray unto him. He may or may not deliver. But all persons are expected to supplement his largesse with gifts of their own.
Well, Tiny Tim's singing with the choir celestial. But where are his clothes? Is decency completely dead?
Cratchit sold them to pay his Christmas debt. There'll be a little extra now that he doesn't have to feed and clothe him. The missus will rent out Tim's corner by the fire, too. All's well that ends well. Eh, to them. The word is out. Your stuff is up for grabs. You've expired, and no one, if you'll forgive the expression, gives a damn.
Oh, spirit, I was going to make a charitable donation.
Too little, too late.
Bull feathers. It was my voodoo doll did him in. Stuck pins in the old bugger weekly, I did. Finally keeled over.
No way. I burnt him in effigy daily. Most effective.
Well, whatever. It's a miraculous day for all concerned. Scrooge is dead, and we're better off. Unloved, unliked, uncared for in life, he goes out the same way. Unmourned. Good riddance, says I.
Scrooge's attempt to make amends takes a nasty turn when the shortage of conventional poultry turns decidedly weird. Tim's growth spurt was suddenly unexpected. Steroids, perhaps?
You're about to meet your maker, whoever that was.
Is too much of a good thing worse than too much of a bad thing? A true conundrum. Christmas should never be about material things. That's a vile abomination. A hideous perversion. You'd think I'd like it. If there is anything to celebrate here, it's the blow against false values of the season. As for the real values, they'll have to look out for themselves. May all our stories end so well. Until next time, ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good nightmare.